Arizona. WeatherScope.
The storm system is engulfing most of the eastern half of the United States tonight. It's produced hail, damaging winds, and a lot of rain. Good evening. Welcome to WeatherScope. I'm Dave Schwartz. We'll have live team coverage of our top story, plus in-depth analysis. Let's begin with Mike Sardell. He's been tracking the storm from our forecast center.
And Dave, the storm has had a history of producing tornadoes and wind damage, and we do have a tornado warning out right now for Spotsylvania County. If you're watching around the area of Fredericksburg, that's south of the D.C. area, you're under a tornado warning till 9:45. This is a Doppler-indicated tornado. Let's show you the storm, which is causing all the problems, not only severe weather, but plenty of rain and even some snow and ice in New England. You can see the low back through the Ohio Valley, bringing a lot of warm air up across the eastern seaboard. So most of what you see in the big cities, Philadelphia, D.C., Baltimore, will be rainfall, and New York. Now, there's been a bit of a change here. We've dropped some of the gale warnings. Now they're up from the South Shore of Jersey, the Jersey Shore, all the way up to Eastport, Maine. Winds could gust as high as 50 miles an hour tonight. And again, at time of high tide around midnight, some of those tides may be a couple of feet above average. We're especially concerned with the Long Island Sound area, the western part of the Long Island Sound. We've got coverage now from the northeast. We've got Jim Cantore in Worcester, Massachusetts, where it's gone from snow and sleet over to freezing rain. It's been all rain on the South Shore Long Island. The Weather Channel's Bill Keneally is there. And Bill, let's go to you first. Let's talk about what's going on there tonight as far as the impact on where you are on the beach and also in the New York City area.
Okay, Mike, safe to say it's one of those second bursts, same as the first. Here we go again. It's not snow, it's all rain. Our truck thermometer is going up every hour. We're up to about 45 degrees now. A very stiff northeast wind. And normally in February, it's the coldest time of the year for the ocean water. This year, the ocean water running a few degrees above normal, so we're not holding the cold air even with that northeast wind. Temperatures in the mid-40s. It is all rain all over the tri-state. The big concern, as you mentioned, will be the Long Island Sound. We'll be watching the ocean here, too, as it comes up tonight. High tide about 10 minutes before the midnight hour. And also for the bridge crossings, the high bridges, especially the Throgs Neck and the Whitestone bridges across the west end of Long Island Sound. That will be a crosswind with a northeasterly fetch. Also the Verrazano and the upper level of the GW Bridge. But again, Mike, it's all rain, a lot of wind, and potentially some tidal problems around midnight and again midday tomorrow. Let's look at the other angle of that storm, though, and see what's happening in the world of winter, I hope. Let's go to Jim up there in Worcester. Jim?
Well, the world of winter is taking a little bit of a turn here, Bill. We got some rain and occasionally a couple of sleet pellets mixed in, but it's still cold. Temperatures sitting right there around 30 degrees. there's a howling northeast wind, and it just cuts right through you. Especially me, I've been down in Georgia now for a few years, and my blood's a little thin, to be quite honest with you. So it's a little bit different standing up here than, let's say, back 10, 12 years ago. But nonetheless, the good news is we've stopped the heavy precipitation. Between 7 and 8 tonight, we had an inch an hour type snowfall rates. The plows came through, much like you saw the one just coming behind me there, sanded, scraped, and now the major thoroughfares are fine. Secondary roads, be careful. Winter weather advisory continues tonight. Bill mentioned the next band coming through. That may very well be a mixture of freezing rain, rain, and sleet as it affects Worcester later on this evening. So my advice to you is to slow down, take it easy, and perhaps hold off things till tomorrow. Back to you.
Okay, Jim, stay warm there in Worcester. Jim Cantori in Worcester, Massachusetts. Also, Bill Keneally in New Jersey with team coverage. We'll get back to them in about 25 minutes. Back here with Colin Marquis, meteorologist here in the Forecast Center. And once again, we're seeing mostly rain, not an event where we have to pull out those shovels again.
It's odd to talk about rain in central New England, even any part of New England in the mid part of February. And that's exactly what we're talking about right now. Mainly a rain event right along the coast, mixing with a little bit of sleet still and snow in Boston. But that mixture line and the rain line ever so slowly going to inch off to the north, Mike.
And the storm is now gyrating.
Everybody always says, oh, I don't want to live in the city and you don't have to deal with it. And in Quakertown,